Hello, children. It is your mother. Though I probably sound like your father on this blessed today, it's because, girl, this is my first time speaking all day. It is 2:50 p.m. And when I tell you this hoe has been in the bed the day, I've been in the bed the day. But I've come on the screen for you all to present the haves and the have-nots, and you know my voice is going to go up 5 octaves by the end of this review. We begin with Benjamin and Candace and Hannah, you know, where they left off with the "This Your Daddy." Benny tries to literally carry Candace out of the room. You cannot make your sister do anything, especially with the confirmation this evening that this is your oldest sister, your older sister. You cannot make a sister do nothing to begin with, but especially not your older sister. I know that, for I have older sisters, and I've never been able to make them do anything, ever. So the show proceeds. He tries to carry her off. She says, no, she's not going. No, there's no way. I'm living with you. Dream girls, but in reverse. And some kind of way, girl, you hear my voice is already starting to go up. Girl, drive. The speed limit is 70 miles more than what you're going. Not literally, but still. So anyway, girl, so we knew which direction this was going to go in because, girl, Tyler Perry cannot write about anything else. Tyler Perry can't write a story where Hannah may have just been a hoe. He can't write a story where Hannah, you know, may have not been a hoe, but just had a one-night stand one evening. He can't write a story where Hannah lost contact with Candace's father. The only story that Tylisha Andrea Perry can write is simply rape. That's all he can write about. That's it. There's nothing else. We have met his peak, and that's it. He's been writing about rape since rape was invented. Since the very first person got raped, Tyler said, I'm going to write every story about this particular thing. So we proceed to go on into, do you really want to know, Candace, who your father is, and all of that, because Candace was giving, girl, you don't know who my daddy is because you was a hoe, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, I recognize a whore when I see one, all of that. And, dang, I should have took the freeway. And you know what? I'm going to loop around right here at this liquor store, whatever it's called. And I'm going to hit the freeway because, girl, a boot in the road. I don't feel like dealing with all the streets and things. But, yeah, so they was having this fight, yada, yada, and it came to, you know, the peak, the climax of the fight was, do you really want to know why I don't know who your daddy is? And, of course, we all had surmised that it was a rape situation. And she goes into, he was a rapist, and then she tells her, stay with it. The ground over here is not even. And for this to be a liquor store, you need to have a smooth ground. Because what if the girls are drinking and driving on this bumpy road, honey? I mean, they shouldn't be drinking and driving, but we know people do. Anyway. Where was I? Oh, yeah. So she goes into, you know, she was out partying young. She had no kids, yada, blah, blah, blah. And I don't see where the I ain't have no kids part came into play, aside from the fact that, you know, now we know that Candace is the firstborn. I guess that's what that was in there for. But, ma'am, you were supposed to yield, and you simply did not. I cussed her out in my mind. Anyway, girl, so Hannah's going into, yes, girl, drunk, down boots, partying, blah, blah, blah. 3 o'clock in the morning, you know, we was going home, whatever, walking home. My friends, their houses were, or maybe they lived in one house, I don't know, but she lived 2 blocks past where her friends were, so she was walking the 2 blocks, blah, 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 and realized she didn't have her key. And so she saw a man on her walk home, whatever, and for some reason, see, this is where I'm lost. This is where I'm unclear. For some reason, she saw a man on her walk home, but she decided to sleep on the porch till her auntie got home, because her auntie wasn't home at 3 o'clock in the morning, because her auntie was out there, you know, getting high. Logistically, now I don't know, I'm speaking from a me point of view. If I lived 2 blocks from where my friends was, and I ain't had no key, I would have just walked them 2 blocks back to my friend's house. But she slept on the porch until her auntie got home or something, and then she went on in there, went to bed. And then when she woke up, dude was raping her. And I'm just like, what? Girl, because I'm already very drained with Tylisha, Andrea Perry, giving everything being rape. Every single thing. Every season we have a rape situation. Every character has had a rape situation, pretty much. Girl, I'm tired. I'm tired. And then I had to go from watching this show to watching The Quad. And The Quad, at least it's only one major storyline about rape. But Tyler Perry drains me with every single character having something to do with some sort of a... Jeffrey, Justin is rapey. Landon was all rapey towards Jeffrey. Jim was real rapey towards Catherine. We know Candace had been raped. It just... Like, I understand that it's a very prevalent thing and it's out there and everybody's got it going on, but not everybody's got it going on, but a lot of people have had this situation and all of that and everything, but Tyler Perry only writes about rape, and that's so tiring to me. That's draining to me, and I just simply, I need to call somebody. I need to call somebody. Why is you only writing about rape? You need to see a doctor, a therapist, somebody. It's bothering me. So anyway, girl, long story short, Hannah goes on, tells her story, and then she proceeds to say that, you know, she told her auntie what happened. Her auntie decided to get saved. And then she got saved. But then she found out she was pregnant and she backslid. And she wanted to abort the baby, but her auntie said she couldn't abort the baby. And I said, did your auntie say you couldn't give up the baby? Why you couldn't give up this baby? And then her story started conflicting itself because she was, you know, when you were born, or before she even got to when you were born, she was like, while I was being raped, I could see his nose and his eyes, your nose and your eyes. And then she saw his lion tattoo or whatever. And I'm like, okay, so you can't get past this girl's nose and eyes. And then she goes on to talk about how her auntie wouldn't let her abort this baby. And I'm like, okay, so she wouldn't let you abort the baby. You couldn't get past the baby's nose and eyes. You were mean to the baby. Why you couldn't just give the baby up? If you don't like the baby, give the baby to somebody who would like the baby. Everybody got a couple at their church that's trying to have a baby, trying to get pregnant, and they having difficulties. Just about every church got that one couple. Maybe it's two of them. Give the baby to the couple that's struggling. They've been married 15 years and they've been trying all this time and they can't have a baby. They would be glad to have your baby. There's a couple out there. Give the baby to the... This wore me out. I'm sorry, I'm bouncing. This road is uneven and I look like I'm doing the oompa loompa doopity doo. But girl, it drained me, and it did not make me feel any particular way towards Hannah because, girl, I mean, I'm so sorry that this happened to you, but you didn't have to make that baby's life hell. You didn't have to do that. So I can't even sympathize with Hannah. So she proceeded to tell the girl, I ain't want a baby, blah blah blah. I wanted to abort you, blah blah blah. And when she finished telling her story, you know, Candace wiped her eyes just lightly, just you know, that's a cute story. She had tears streaming or whatever, but she was like, that's a cute story, but I don't believe you. I was like, yes, you do, because you wouldn't have had them tears rolling down if you did. And what I don't understand is, for you to be this girl's mama, for you to have raised her, you see her crying in response to your story, that should denote that she believes you. But whatever, she said she don't believe her. So Hannah sits on down, girl. Let me see, did I miss anything before I get to this? Oh, no, okay, I forgot. Let me get back to it. So, Hannah, you know, she's telling all her story, and then she says when Candace told her that, you know, she had been raped, then Hannah turned back to God, and she rededicated her life to God, and she got saved, and she's been saved ever since. And I'm sitting here like, me and my mama, I had to pause the show and talk to my mama and be like, girl, so I don't understand, you a Christian, you saved, help me. Because it does not make sense for, and here go my octave, I've gone up another octave. It does not make sense for Hannah to, I mean, yes, okay, you've gone through this thing, you got saved, your daughter goes through the thing, you get saved again. It doesn't make sense for her to have gotten saved and just have gotten saved. So your daughter told you she was raped and you just go get saved and that's it. You didn't get the baby no counseling. You didn't say, okay, so this also happened to me and, you know, I turned my life over to the Lord the first time and this is what, and blah, 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 and, you know, this is why I've treated you. That was a perfect opportunity for you to have told this girl that story. Not when her son was dead. Not when her son had killed him, had gotten killed. That wasn't the perfect time. The perfect time would have been way back then when she told you. I'm sick of Hannah. I'm sick of her. Krista Fox, niece, girl, auntie, honey, baby, you acted boots. Okay, you acted the full hell out of that scene. It was award worthy. But your character, Hannah, I'm not gonna be able to do her. I'm not gonna be able to do her. She wears me out. It would have made sense when your daughter told you this thing had happened for you to tell her this story then, and then get her some counseling. You get you some counseling. So when Candace said she didn't believe her, Hannah took off her shoes. She sat down, took off her shoes. And I'm sitting here looking like, girl, and everybody, Benny was looking like, and Candace was looking like, girl. And they asked, what you doing? She said, Matthew 10:14. This is why I don't have a lot of saved friends. Not the real, not the deep saved ones. Because, girl, we having a casual conversation, and you just, oh, yeah, girl, Matthew 10:14. And that's the end of the conversation. You ain't explained. You ain't read the scripture to nobody. You ain't said. And then I had my mom pull up the scripture and read. And she read. And it said, if they don't believe what you... girl, I'm freestyling. Hold on now. If they don't believe what you say, then you just dust your feet off. And I said, well, that does not make sense. And my mom was trying to explain to me, well, it's circumstantial and it's biblical. And he was telling, because he was saying, to the disciples that if they don't, they're going and they're ministering in these cities and the people don't believe, when you leave the city, you dust your feet off. And I said, well, girl, that still don't make sense in context of this show, though, because first of all, we could see that Candace believed what her mama had done said. Second of all, she's not a disciple and she's not leaving nobody's city. And she did not tell this girl of the goodness of the Lord. All she did was say, I got saved. So her dusting off her feet was stupid and didn't make no sense. And I cannot do it with Hannah. Now, I've spent about 15 minutes on this. And, girl, I'm about to move on. Because what I'm not going to do is, girl, you're not going to get me this evening. You're not going to give me Tyler Perry. You're not going to rile me up. I'm already sweating. My forehead, it feels dewy and moist. You ain't going to have me sweating on this today over your foolishness. So moving along. David, he goes visit his boy in jail, and the officer behind the counter, why would you pull in front of me if he was going to drive slower than I'm... Jesus. Some grown man in a Fiat smushed all down in the car. Anyway, and he ain't going to get over it because the car in front of you was going too slow, but you was going too slow in front. I'm disgruntled. It's her, though. Her. So, yeah, he went over to see Jeffrey. The officer behind the counter was extra. He done tried to call the DA, but the DA ain't answer, so he got an attitude. And I'm like, girl, who has the time? Long story short, David done stayed over all night at this jailhouse. And I'm like, David, you are a judge. I don't know if David is a federal judge. I know Jim was a federal judge, and I know they're best friends, but that don't mean David's a federal judge. But you are a judge. You don't know nobody at the DA's office. You don't know nobody at the DA's office. Not a single nobody. And it took you from AM to PM, like Christina Milian used to say on that song, to decide to call Jim. I'm drained. So he calls Jim. Jim is like, girl, can't nobody help you with that one? Call Catherine. So he calls Catherine. Catherine finds out, he says Jeffrey's in jail, his mother had him arrested, blah, blah, blah. And that was pretty much all we heard about that. I don't have the time. So was Sarah Justin's wife, whoever she is? Is that who that is? The judge that's married to Justin? Either way, girl, she calls Jim. Apparently they've been sleeping together for ever and ever. And honest to God, if they would just kill Jim off, my life would be blessed. Because I hate him. But he demands that she comes over, sleeps with him, and blah, 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 and I don't have the time. Derek, who is the maintenance man / house builder. Usually the house builder ain't the maintenance man, but okay, Tyler Perry. He comes over and he don't wash the dishes and fix the sink. And I'm thinking, well, if the sink don't work, why you got dishes in the first place? If my sink had a leak, I would use paper plates until such time as... and where she get plates from? I guess the house was fully furnished. I'm drained. But anyway, he left a note. So she calls him. He asked her out. She said no. And Catherine is standing over on the corner, like, peeking. Like, did she say yes? And he's like, she turned me down. And the way he said it was like, the nerve of her to turn me down because I'm just too fine. And I'm like, you're not that fine. You're not that fine. I was looking at him and I turned to my mom and said, he ain't that fine. From the neck down, okay, cute. From the head up, I couldn't do it. He didn't bless me. But anyway, girl, so I meant to get through this review real quick, but that's just not what's happening. Yeah, she shot him down, and Catherine wants to call her and persuade her to go with him, but he say, no, I don't. I want her I want this to be organic. I don't want you to force her to go with me. And I'm like, Catherine can't make this woman do absolutely anything. Anyway, Veronica calls Benjamin. He answers the phone, and they have this long, drawn-out conversation of, can you come back up to the hospital? I want to thank you in person. And I'm like, girl, I'm tired. Tired. She says she's in debt to him and all of this, girl. I don't have time. Now, another thing, honestly, this whole episode could have been Candace, because Candace the only one that gave me life this episode. She done called this other hoe into the room, Gia. Gia comes into the room, and Candace, now first of all, Candace has changed clothes, and she looks absolutely sickening. Absolutely sickening. She done changed the ensemble, and it's just everything. But Gia comes in this little dress, honey, that, girl, didn't need to be done. But she comes on in, and all in all, girl, Candace is the new pimp. She's gonna pimp this girl. Oops, stay with it. I'm on the heel. She's gonna pimp the girl, and so she grabs her wallet, rips her dress open, all décolletage, showing all of her in here region, and the girl is like, you done ripped my dress, and or ruined my dress. She's like, no, you ruined it when you bought it from the dollar store. And I was like, oh, dang. Grabbed her wallet, took out her ID. Gia's her real name. She says, you need a fake ID, yada yada. She says she's going to get her in contact with a girl named Erica that's going to get her some clothes and check in with, what's his name? Rocky at the bar. And unlock your phone. Gia says, no, I'm not going to unlock my phone. Candace slapped her down, boo. She ain't slap her like she slapped Erica, because she slapped Erica down to the bed. She just slapped Gia to let her know, like, okay, that's slap number one. Don't make me have to slap you again. Gia, she says, don't make me have to ask you for nothing else twice. Gia opens up the phone and Candace proceeds to put her number in on the candy cane. She put Erica's number in. I think she put Rocky's number in. And these are your go-tos. You're working on Tuesdays and Fridays. All right. Now go on. Basically. Over to Jeffrey and Justin. My brain was bleeding watching this. Justin carries him on into that room again. And they talking, having some sort of a conversation. Honey, I wasn't paying attention. And the phone rings. It's Wyatt. Justin, Jesus. Answers, he clicks the phone on. Justin says, hello, all casual. And I'm like, I would have clicked the phone and be like, I'm in jail. Find a way to get me out of here. All right, bye. Like, he answered the phone all casual. He didn't even tell the boy he was in jail. Answered the phone and was talking. And Wyatt was like, tell that crazy man or whatever to stop calling my phone, whatever. And Justin's like, I'm the crazy one? Yes, Justin, you are. You sure are. And Wyatt proceeds to instigate the boy and is like, go on, tell him, Jeffrey, that we're lovers, blah, blah, blah. And Justin said he gonna run by Wyatt's house after a while. My throat, Jesus. And what I didn't like about that was it was the same thing that Candace told War. Are you at home? Stay there, I'm on my way. Anyway, he said he was looking, after they hung up on Wyatt, Justin said he's looking for an apartment for us, Justin and Jeffrey. No, that's not, no. And then they had some more conversation, honey, and Jeffrey said he was going to beat on the door. Justin said, go on, beat on the door. But then when dude started beating on the door, he put him in a half Nelson or full Nelson. I don't know which Nelson it was, but started choking the boy out. I'm drained. Like, comment, subscribe, all the things that YouTube is saying. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.